What's happening, guys? This is Akpal for iGyaan.in, and it's the last day of 2013. I hope you've got some fantastic resolutions up your sleeve because the new year is about to begin. A lot of new changes should have happened in your life, or at least you should plan for them because most of these resolutions don't end up being followed. But either way, we are keeping up our promise. This is our final guide for smartphones above 30,000 rupees. Now, guys, I thought that I'll do two, one over 30,000 and one over 40,000. But I've decided that I should just drop in all the main devices I feel fit in above the 30,000 price bracket. Otherwise, there'll be too much segregation and too much happening. So the first device is obviously going to be the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. Now, a lot of people have been talking about the fact that its price is around 28,000 rupees. But that's an offer going on in some places, on some online websites. The price in the market is still around 33,000 rupees. So that's why we put this in the above 30,000 price bracket. If you can get it for under 30,000 rupees, then fantastic anyway, right? So Samsung Galaxy Note 2 has the Exynos 4 chipset, which is a quad-core chipset from Samsung. It works really well. You get great benchmark scores, great performance from the device. You also get a fantastic array of S Pen features. So if you're taking notes, if you want to use a stylus on your device, you get all those features. Great picture editing features as well. You also get multi-window, a great camera at the back, a great camera in the front, a large screen real estate. You still have a 720p display, but it's a nice AMOLED display. So overall, a great package from Samsung. You get great battery life as well, a full day's use with a lot of extensive use. So I don't think you can go wrong with the Galaxy Note 2. So that's one of our picks in the above 30 flagship region. Okay, moving on. The next phone that we are going to recommend is going to be the LG G2. Now the G2 is around a price of about 37,000 rupees in the market. It does have a beautiful 1080p display, which is almost edge to edge. The design is absolutely brilliant. You have a gorgeous camera with optical image stabilization, so you get great video from this camera as well. You have a great build quality and a sleek overall curvature. Some people like the button at the back, some people don't. I honestly got used to it so much that even in other phones, I started tapping the back panel. So you sort of get used to that add-on on the back of the device. You can also knock on the screen to turn it on and off. So good set of features on the G2 and a great price, a great overall performance. You get a Snapdragon 800 in there. You get 2 gigs of RAM. You get 1632 gigabyte of storage. A great overall set. The new LG Optimus UI works really well. So overall, a great package. It also is the base for which the Nexus was built on. So you get all the latest features. You don't get the latest version of Android yet, but LG is planning to bring out KitKat in the first half of 2014, so you'll get a good update. So our next recommendation is a little mixed up. We are recommending a choice between the Samsung Galaxy S4 and a choice between the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Essentially based on a similar chipset, the Exynos 5, you get a smartphone, which is the S4, which does everything that the Galaxy Note does, but you have a major set of differences between both these devices. You have a small little price gap between these two devices. So you're paying about 10,000 rupees extra for the Galaxy Note 3, whereas you get the S4 for around 35 to 38,000 rupees, depending on where and how you're getting this device. So the S4 gives you all the latest features. You get great performance from the device. You get good RAM in there. Overall, a good set of features. You also get the latest version of TouchWiz. You get multi-window. You get all the S Note features. Everything's in there. What it is missing versus the Galaxy Note 3 is that gorgeous, super bright display that works really well even outdoors is available on the Note 3. You also get a large battery on the Note 3. You get 1.5 days worth of use on the Note 3. And you also get the S Pen features with the action command, action memo, all those things. You can also get the smartwatch in case you want that. Nobody really wants that watch, but in case you want that watch, it works on both these devices. So if you want a larger screen, a slightly better camera, a great display, which is slightly larger as well, you also get that premium looking pleather, which actually looks terribly bad. But some people like it, so if you get that premium look finish on there. So if you want something that fits in all those categories, then pick the Note 3. If you don't want all those things, then pick the S4. You save yourself about 10,000 rupees. The next one I'm going to recommend, and a lot of you guys are not going to like it really. So it is going to be the iPhone 5C. Now, why I recommend the iPhone 5C over the iPhone 5 is, first of all, the iPhone 5 is discontinued. So if you do find a device, it's possibly an old variant or it's an old stock. If somebody has it in stock, is selling it. The iPhone 5 and the 5C are essentially the same device. The iPhone 5C has a plastic or a polycarbonate shell. You get a lot of colors in there. However, the iPhone 5 has a premium looking design. So if you want aesthetic differences, you can choose whether you want to go for the polycarbonate versus a metal and glass construction. Either way, both these devices have the same sort of chipset on the inside, the same processor, the same display, the same RAM type. You have the same camera. Everything inside is exactly the same. You also get iOS 7. So you get all the features of iOS. You get great functionality. The device still works really well on iOS. You get really fast responsive UI integration, and you can also run all the apps available on the App Store. So a great device from Apple, the iPhone 5C or the iPhone 5. You get it available in the market around 36,000 rupees for the 16GB variant. A great price. You get iCloud support, you get photo streams. It's endless. I mean, I can't even start and end where all the features that you get. And once you get into the Apple ecosystem, if you're using an iPad or a MacBook, then you can integrate seamlessly, sync over the air, your apps update in the background. When you put your phone on charging, all your apps update in the background. A lot of great features on the iOS that once you get used to, you can't get over them. So the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 5C, if you want to get into the Apple ecosystem for under 40,000 rupees and want to try out the new iOS 7, works flawlessly well, and you won't be disappointed. Okay, so next one I'm going to recommend are going to be two camera phones. The first one is the Sony Xperia Z1. Although a lot of people don't like this product, it's really well built. You have a metallic finish or a metallic bezel on the side. You have glass on the front and back, and you have a beautiful 20 megapixel camera with a G lens. However, the two features that are most important on this phone have been neglected by Sony the most. The camera is absolutely wonderful, and you don't see them talking about the camera that much. And the waterproof capability and the dust resistance is really great as well, and you don't see them talking about that much. However, they do talk about the great features in Android and the great things that the phone can do, and those are not the best features of this phone. Battery life is terrible on this device. It heats up a lot, but it is a fantastic camera, and they have this really nice feature called the time shift burst that captures about 15 shots before you even press the camera shutter button. Essential, crucial for capturing kids. My nephew was in town and I captured a lot of pictures with that, and really brilliant pictures. So if you want some of those fancy features, you can also stream to Facebook, the only phone available on the market that can actually stream directly to Facebook. So the Xperia Z1 for camera, one of our recommendations. The next up phone for camera is going to be the Nokia Lumia 1020. Now, of course, it's got the pure view camera. Of course, it's got the best camera features. It's got manual controls. You can zoom in your video. You can get great high dynamic range shots, beautiful pictures from this device. Actually three major limitations on this phone, and a lot of you are going to agree. First limitation, Windows Phone 8, it's still not there. It's been trying to get there, it's still not there. We're still missing out on a lot of things. We finally got Instagram, but it's not the right time. We are missing out on a lot of things. A lot of applications don't work. You also don't have seamless sharing. A lot of things are missing in the UI. People still don't like the fact that it's so simplistic and so clean. You can't customize Windows Phone. So the fact that it runs on Windows is one of the drawback factors. Second drawback factor is the fact that you're clicking 41 megapixel shots, but you get a 16 gigabyte capacity, or if you're paying a lot more, you get 32 gigabyte capacity. It always usually runs out of pictures. The unit that we had ran out of space, and then you're stuck with either uploading the images to SkyDrive or to any other cloud storage, or downloading them onto your PC. Basically, you run out of space a lot on this phone, which is essentially supposed to be a camera. So I don't know if I'm putting this in the top cameras or if I'm putting this in the top phones. Either way, the Nokia Lumia 1020, if you want a great camera experience, but that's about it. That's all it is. It is a camera with a phone in it. That's all I can say. Now we're moving along to premium looking and feeling and priced devices. The HTC One Dual SIM is now available in India. It works on GSM, it works on CDMA, it works on EVDO, it works on 3G. So you get two SIM card slots, a removable back panel this time around. So you also get micro SD card expandability on the HTC One Dual SIM. So that makes it the best HTC One yet, right? The HTC One was one of the best phones when it came out in the year earlier. We got the HTC Butterfly 2 as well as the HTC One Max after that, plus a bunch of Desire phones that, well, to be quite honest, do not supersede the HTC One. The HTC One has a 4 ultra pixel camera. You get optical image stabilization, a lot of fantastic Zoe features on this camera as well. So great blink feed interface. You also get the new 4.3 update with 5.5 cents. So you get the new blink feed. You can subscribe to websites. You can even subscribe to iGyaan on your new blink feed. So a lot of great features on the HTC One. Premium built metallic body, great look, great feel, great overall performance. You still have a Snapdragon 600 in there, but it works really, really well. And you won't have any complaints with performance. Games work well, imaging works well, video works well. So everything is a good all-in-all mix. Battery life could have been better. But it's not too bad either. So the HTC One Dual SIM is one of our recommendations. If you want a bigger version of the HTC One without the Dual SIM capabilities, the HTC One Max is available. However, it's got a hefty price tag on there, almost a price difference about 15,000 rupees from the HTC One Dual SIM. So not much is added except a fingerprint sensor, a larger screen, and that's about it. If you want to go for that upgrade, spending 15,000 rupees seems a bit of overkill, but you do have that option in there. Now, last and finally, possibly the most expensive phone available on the market today, the iPhone 5S. Now, it is the best phone to get if you want a seamless iOS integration. I have personally used iPhones from the beginning, and they have been my first phone. I like them, you don't have to like them, but that's the problem. A lot of people don't like them because they're not overly customizable, they're not overly skinnable, you can't customize the look and feel of the phone. But the problem is that the minute you start customizing things and the minute you start skinning things and making them personal, they start to lag, they start to crash, and they start to not work in the order that they were intended to. That's why the Nexus has the best Android experience, because it runs on pure stock Android. Hence, the iPhone has the best OS experience because it runs on pure stock iOS. I like it because of the simple fact that things work. There is zero or little lag actually there is no lag. There is no little lag. There is no lag on the phone no matter what you're doing. It seldom ever crashes. I mean, I've used the 5S for about 4-5 months now, and I don't think I might have seen one crash where the screen blanked out, but that's about it. And that's the only time that I had a problem with the phone, but the rest of the time it works. The Touch ID sensor on my phone at least works. Some people complained about it not working, but it works. It gets you in the device, it gets you your apps downloaded, so it saves two major hurdles. Two things that I don't like. The Touch ID sensor could have been used for a lot more, for possibly launching apps, or possibly paying for in-app purchases, or making payments, or remembering passwords. A lot of things could have been done with the Touch ID sensor, which Apple will probably do, but they haven't done that right now. The second thing, battery life is atrocious on the new iOS 7, and hopefully Apple will fix it via a software update or something, man, because we're like, I can't get across a day without charging my iPhone at least twice. So that is one major hurdle on the iPhone 5S, but for usability, if you're clicking pictures, it's the best camera out there because of usability. It's not the fact that it's got the most megapixels or it's got the most features in the camera. You get great apps for the iPhone, and possibly the maximum amount of online pictures are still clicked on an iPhone. Instagram came on the iPhone first, and it works really, really well. For the 8 megapixel back there, it's got great overall image capture. It's one of the best camera phones, if not the best camera phone, according to me. Personal choice out there. So that's it, guys. This is our list of all the devices that we think fit in the top flagship barrier. There are other devices that were obviously left out. And if you have your pick, let us know what your pick is. We feel that these devices fit the bar completely and they work really well. The iPhone being my personal choice, the 5S. But I also love the Galaxy Note 3, and I've also taken a keen interest towards the LG G Flex, which is set to come out in January next year. So hopefully we get the LG G Flex at a reasonable price. We heard that it's going to be for upwards of 60,000 rupees, which would be, again, terrible for a lot of people. But let us know what your feelings are. You can leave your comments in the comment section below. For best prices and more details on each of these products, hit the more detailed link in the description below, and you get best prices in the market on our website. And you can also leave your feedback below or on iGyaan.in. Catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/iGyaan, youtube.com/iGyaan TV for iGyaan Networks. This is me, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next year. That's tomorrow. Bye.